Hello guys, today I'm going to share with you some of the things you don't have to do when you come to China. China is a beautiful country, it's a great country with first class, everything that you can name it, okay? And it has the largest population in the world. So, with such a country, whenever you are visiting there for whatever purpose while you are coming, it's important to get to know some of the things you have to do and some of the things you don't have to do. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the things you don't have to do when you go to China. One is don't disrespect the law. Okay, don't disrespect the law. In every country, wherever you are coming from, one of the many things that makes the system works is the law. Okay, when there is no law in a society, there is no law in a country, there is chaos or there is no development. Everyone will do whatever he or she likes. Stealing will be high. So many violent things will be high. So therefore, one of the things you don't have to do is to disrespect the laws. Okay, respect the law. Don't try to change the system. Don't try to change the laws to suit yourself or to have an advantage of something that you want to do when you drop in China. Okay, so don't disrespect the laws. Okay, the next one is very interesting because in the Western world we see so much as a norm or a normal thing. But when you go to China, one of the things you don't have to do is having a close contact greetings. Interesting, right? Yeah, having a close contact greetings. For example, if you want to greet someone, shaking of hands, hugging, kissing on the peg or the cheek, giving people's peg, kissing on the forehead as a form of greeting is weird, okay? It's uncomfortable in China. So when you find yourself in China, try as much as possible not to have a close contact greetings. Yes, of course, there are some of them that are used to that. There are some of them who are comfortable with that. Fair enough, you can do that, but the majority are comfortable with that. So what do? You can wave by saying hi, hello, hi as a form of greetings without necessarily handshaking, hugging. Yeah, if you get anyone who is comfortable with that, fair enough. But if you find yourself in a situation whereby you are going into greet physically by shaking hand or hugging and the person withdraws or rejects, please don't get offended. Okay, don't get offended and don't get angry over that because it's not part of the custom. It's not how they live. Okay, so take note of that. All right, the next is that don't also disrespect the customs. Okay, there are some minority groups in China. For example, when you visit their tourist temples and all that, and you find something in a temple that you don't like or you feel like it's weird, try as much as possible not to talk ill of that, to disrespect it, the custom, because that's their customs. Everyone has their own traditional customs and all that. So when you find yourself in China, respect the customs and also respect the minority groups. next don't is don't give tips. Okay, don't give tips specifically at public places. Okay, so you go for a dinner, you are done with your meal, you want to give a tip to the waiter or the waitress. Okay, inside the public place. Ah, that's weird. I know you're saying, wow, interesting. Yes, of course. Why is it weird? It's weird because in the China system, they are not used to that. Okay, in the Western world or in some part of the African countries, yeah, or generally in African countries, if my record is right, you can give tips to a taxi driver, to a waiter or a waitress whenever you finish eating or you feel good for a service the person rendered to you. Yeah, but in China that is weird. So in the public places, when you find yourself in China, try as much as possible not to give tips. Okay, not to give tips. All right. Once when you do that and it's rejected, don't get offended because perhaps you might not know. That is why I'm sharing this information with you so that you will be informed when you get to China. You wouldn't be doing some of these things which will make you feel awkward. All right. So, in order not to feel awkward, try as much as possible not to do some of the things when you come to China or when you go to China. Okay. The next one is that don't get angry at the public places or never get angry at the public places. Okay. Maybe it's your first time in China, or maybe you've been in China for quite a long time, but there are some things that can easily get you angry because you don't see that in your home country, or perhaps you didn't. It's fair time of seeing that thing. Okay, when you find yourself in that situation, don't get angry at the public places. Try as much as possible to tolerate it. Okay. Yeah, maybe you wouldn't like the way someone spoke to you. For example, if the person spoke very rudely to you, you wouldn't like that. Or maybe the person did something that is weird. Come on, don't get angry, okay? At the public places. Don't get angry. Not even at the public places, but places, just try as much as possible to tolerate and don't get angry over certain culture and customs when you find yourself in China. China, like I said, is a good country, it's a great country with good economy, a peaceful country, good security, and all that. So when you find yourself in China, try as much as possible not to do some of the things so that you can enjoy your stay in China. The next is don't change your identity. Okay, yes, don't change your identity. What do I mean by don't change your identity? When you find yourself in China, irrespective of the visa you are holding, and remember that each visa has its own description. Okay, the next time we will talk about some of the visas here in China. All right, so don't change your identity. For example, if you're from Ghana, don't change your identity to America just because you want a job, just because there's an opportunity and your country is not qualified for that opportunity. It doesn't mean you have to change your identity to seek that by trying to find illegal passports and from a different country. It's no, it's seriously and 100% illegal to do that. Okay, so don't ever try or don't ever listen to someone who say, hey, come on, I can change your passport for you, I can give you an American passport, I can give you a Canada passport so that you can apply for this job and get it. It's illegal. Don't do that in China. All right, don't do that in China. So don't change your identity, don't change how you speak your language. Don't try to speak like you're an American whilst you know where you're coming from. So just be who you are, all right? Just be who you are. Just live the way you are as you came from your country. and don't change your identity. It's illegal, so never try. The last one is that don't speak on sensitive topics. That is very crucial because you don't have to speak or talk about sensitive topics, for example, political policies, political leaders, their political leaders, religious policies, and all that. Try as much as possible not to speak or talk about it in a conversation with whoever you meet here in China. Okay, it's very sensitive and doesn't feel comfortable talking or discussing about them. They have high respect for authority. So speaking about religious policies, political policies, and their leaders is very, very, very sensitive. So never or don't try or avoid talking about side things. All right, so that ends today's video. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.
Born Sky on the beat.
Say one for the money, two for the dough.